the show last night.
Hello, everyone. Welcome now. Past the timer. We're here on the UPL Upper Bracket Finals. I am Camcom. Over there is Regdor. Your Upper Bracket Finals tonight is an AOE Civil War. So I gotta ask real quick here, Regdor. Who do you think is winning tonight? Is it AOE? Is AOE winning tonight?
I think that it would be really hard for AOE to lose. It's like throwing a rock at the ground. If you miss...
I mean, AOE will also lose.
That's a 50-50. How many Civil Wars have there been? I think Twitter said 30, but I feel like there's been many.
Oh my gosh. I mean, 30 is still a lot, but yes, we do have two AOE teams here in your Upper Bracket Finals. You've got Ginger Turmeric versus AOE Randoms here in our final best of 3 of the split here for UPL. Your next two... Your next 2 series are best of 5, so this is the final best of 3 for your Ginger Turmeric lineup. You saw them yesterday. Moose Hater as your top laner, Keel 7 in the jungle, Shrimp Captain in the mid lane, and Wixie and Dual King in the bot lane.
And the randoms aren't random at all, with Geiger up in the top lane, Coldthrow in the jungle, Nemesis 9 in the mid lane, and Psycho and Pockus down in the bot lane respectively.
This is, I do believe, the exact same lineup that AOE Ginger Turmeric is currently running in the Proven Grounds circuit. They did take down 100 Thieves Academy yesterday, 2-1 in their best of 3, I do believe, as well. So far, the only Proven Grounds amateur team to beat an Academy team this year.
In pride of amateur, whatever you would like to call it. Yeah, it is a great day to be an amateur League of Legends fan, and furthermore to get to see back-to-back performances here on another day with the Ginger Turmeric squad.
Another day, another finals to either win or lose here for AOE. They'll manage to do both here today at the very least, as it does I was going to say does look like, and then I realized that you can't say both of them at the same time. So Randoms is on the blue side. That's what I'm trying to go with here. Ginger Turmeric has opted for the red side here in the game 1. Bands picks, what are we looking for here, Regdor?
Well, you know, after this last round, things like Karthus and Draven are just the things that stick out in my head. If you didn't get to watch the games and you just wanted a 30-second recap, it would be just the combination of the Requiem plus the Whirling Death immediately dismembering 3 people off of the map. So there's a Draven ban. Hey, we're 1 for 1 so far.
There we go. Yep, it was the classic Karthus presses R, does about 1,500 damage to all 5 enemy champions, and depending on their HP bars, that either one-shots them, takes it down 50% HP, and after that, it's a pretty clean sweep of a team fight into the Game 3 win. If, again, we're very heavily spoiling their series from last night, but it is very important to talk about here going into their very next series here today. They haven't played, as far as we know, since their series last night, unless there was some solo queue shenanigans earlier today. Fiddlesticks and Yone will be your next bands up. Udyr is a band here as well. How did you feel about the Udyr rework, Ragnar?
I'm scared. I'm just scared for this champion. Like we were talking about before the call, of like, looks a lot cooler and more lore driven.
Yeah.
Not just random shaman, but now the fighter of the gods. But I'm expecting Rammus to, or Rammus or Ram Orn. Orn? No. Udyr. Orn Udyr. Yeah, this unbreakable form, him just eating just CC, is the scariest thing as an ADC, to imagine him just bully through the backline and murder me. So, just business as usual.
Yeah, he's got to be some sort of god form, so he just stole all of the Freljordian gods, and now all of a sudden he has, like, all of their powers just in very smaller much versions of the big Freljordian gods, and I think it's much more lore driven, like you said, and I think it's a lot cooler as a champion. My most important part about it was you can actually tell what the abilities are by looking at the champion now. I like that. Thank goodness. As we did mention that Karthus was a big part of their win yesterday for Ginger Turmeric, so it was left unbanned. It's going to be B1 first pick by their sister team counterpart here, Randoms.
Yeah, we've been talking about Karthus for a long time, of just having the insane clear speed, being able to almost like Flame Horizon or a mini Flame Horizon in the early game and just be through the full second clear before their enemies really gotten halfway through theirs. And that is definitely a great scaling pick and a good pick away as well, as we did see the standout performance yesterday. It'll be interesting to see what they build around it, and that already looks like just the Wombo combo comp of the century with an Asmish Fortune bot lane.
We've instantly had both of our bot lanes locked in here, Ragnar. It's going to be, I'm going to assume Ashe support, but it could honestly be Misfortune support. I think more recently I've actually seen more Misfortune support. With the Comet poke build, it does a lot of poke damage in lane, and then her ultimate still gets a lot of scaling off of it as well to do some extra damage in team fights, but she is mostly a slow support, very similar to that of Ashe, except Ashe obviously having a nice stun on the ultimate there as well. Renata Callista, very hyper aggressive. We will kill you many times, CC you, spike you to death basically. It's a very hyper kill lane, so that into a poke lane, I'm excited to see it. This bot lane is going to be a very exciting matchup to watch here, as Jarvan will be the invader. I'm not even going to say jungler of choice. There's not going to be any jungling here in the jungle. We're just going straight invade. Do not let Cole throw fall or farm in the jungle. We're full invade comp.
Yeah, absolutely. You walk in level 2 and murder the Karthus early, and
Yes.
keep on murdering him on
Keep him out of the
repeat,
game.
on cooldown. I think it's really interesting how quickly Randoms actually locked in that pick between R1, R2, over to the response. They did that so quickly, and this is, as somebody who's been, I said on my villain arc, I've been just one-tricking Draven day in and day out, learning the champion. I can say for aggressive bot lanes like that, with Callista's in the same vein, you have these two huge AoE slow fields that do not allow you to get in and get on. So I feel like it's almost going to be like that neutralizing effect, to where Wixie and Duo King aren't actually going to be able to get a lot done down there in the bot lane without intervention from the Jarvan, or maybe this Bull LeBlanc that's getting hovered. But of course, you never let me have fun things here, and it's Corki, which is not similar at all.
Corki has been picked. Victor has been left unbanned. I can already predict what this matchup in the mid lane will be. Is it going to be a Victor, or is it going to be a Victor? But yes, that is an important point to bring up about the bot lane as well. The #1 counter to Kalista not even really being hard CC, it slows because of how that interacts with her passive and her movement speed, right? Where slows are significantly more effective on her jumps and her movement speed than really any other champion in the game. So picking probably the most slowing potential bot lane, Misfortune Ashe, will definitely keep them... I can't say keep them on their toes. It'll keep them off their toes, knocked back underneath their tower, most likely here, as I was very wrong. It is not going to be a Victor mid lane. Hold on. It's going to be a Tryndamere mid lane. Okay, that's fun for Nemesis. Into the Corki. No Victor to be had here. We get one game off of it.
Hey, we'll take it, and that is very volatile solo lanes on either side. The Tryndamere and the Corki. He's about one bad Valkyrie away from death. But then on the top side, even though Olaf has been nerfed, his lane sustain taken down a bit. We've seen a few people pilot this Olaf really well, and he does especially well into things like Poppy early, that he can just kind of out damage, and Poppy has to kind of find these right ways to get the headbutt into the wall and the stun pre-6 to get down a lot of damage that I don't think is present. So even though Geiger might be the most interesting 6'8" man on the planet Earth, I think Moose Hater may have his number here in the early game of game 1.
I'm looking forward to all the copy pastas about Geiger here, and not only game 1, but of the series. So, Regdor, I named a little bit earlier which team is going to win, AOE or AOE, but now which team is actually going to win? Based on the drafts, based on some more context here, Randoms, Ginger, Turmeric, don't ignore the AOE, ignore the first 3 letters. Who's taking game 1 here?
I mean, right now, based off of drafts, I think Randoms might have the keys to success here. Okay. They've got the wombo combos, they've got strong solo lanes, and if this Tryndamere gets 1 or 2 kills, well, it's going to feel like solo queue, where he's got his strong arm out, and he's going to be taking towers and lives all at the same time. So, not saying that the Slayers of the Academy can't pull it out, but right now, it's definitely Random's favor to me.
All right, you predicting randoms. That means I just have to go with Ginger Turmeric then. They've drafted a full dive, full Renachu comp. If anything, it's going to be a very fun game to watch, but I have to go with the full dive. This Olaf top recently has just been a huge part of the top meta. It's almost pick or ban right now in a lot of tournaments that I've been watching casting. It's very, very powerful in the top lane in 1v1s, even in team fights as well. You just run at people, you get a free engage, especially with our Renata R on top of it as well. So I just really like Olaf top. I also really like Kalista Renata bot lane, just because I play a lot of Renata. Yes, Kalista is very much countered in the lane, but I still think that they can come out of it with a couple of 2v2 kills. But we'll be going to a short break here now as we head on to Summoner's Rift for game 1 of your upper bracket finals. Hello everyone, welcome back now onto Summoner's Rift for Game 1 of our final best of 3 here on UPL Unified Live. Again, I am Camcom, my co-caster here tonight is Regdor, AOE Randoms, taking on the blue side against AOE Ginger Turmeric, of course. This is our upper bracket finals. Winner of this best of 3 continues on to the grand finals best of 5. Loser of this series goes on to the loser finals best of 5 down on the loser side of the bracket. So they are not completely out of the tournament if they lose this one, but you definitely want to buy your ticket straight into finals with the single last best of 3.
Yeah, and that's all about the momentum, making it into the grand finals without having to play an extra best of 5 along the way. We did see a nice little invade there from the side of Ginger Turmeric. One of the beauties of that top lane Olaf is just, chucking axes, getting the undertow out there, and that slow early on, as we saw, could be very painful in the long run. But no death, no summoner spells blown, just
nope.
A pretty standard early game at this point.
Just one very, very deep ward there onto the Wolves. We are assuming, of course, Colthrow playing the cart. This will be going for a full clear from top to bot, probably with some sort of take the bot scuttle recall, then continue rubber banding the camps from top to bot, eventually into a Dragon Star, probably eventually there, as well as just the standard card this clear. You don't really ever go for ganks pre-6. You're trying to hit level 6 as fast as humanly possible on this champion, so we're expecting quiet early game in terms of jungle pressure, but definitely not in terms of lane pressures, especially down here in the bot lane. About a quarter of their HP chunks away from the Randoms bot lane already. Geiger up there in the top lane as well. All 3 lanes just taking not very favorable trades here for the Randoms. Ginger Turmeric slightly ahead in HP across all 3 lanes.
Yeah, and that is the beauty. I just have to keep on saying that Olaf up there in the top lane does exactly that. Throw axe, slow, beat him up, and continue to, rinse, wash, repeat. And if you take some of his health, that's wonderful. He actually kind of likes that a bit. As Colthrow says, I'm not just going to take my camps. Actually doing a vertical clear here on the Ginger Turmeric side of the map, taking Keel's Raptors, as Keel's actually down in the bot lane taking his Krugs.
Yes.
So nice little cross-map trading here.
I predicted it wrong, Regdor. I'm so sorry. It's vertical jungling. We're back in Season 9 jungling meta here, so Randoms will have the whole top side prio, while Ginger Turmeric get the whole bot side prio, and that is also with, remember, the Callista Renata kill lane 2v2 as well, so this could absolutely be a dive. It's a little bit of a wave stacked, about just one wave stacked underneath the tower here of Randoms. Excellent Renata handshake landing onto Psycho. Cleanse coming out from Wixie as well, and the first blood kill onto Psycho and denying him a lot of XP off that wave as well.
An amazing job by Keel being down there on the bot side and actually holding the EQ as they go in for another one.
Still going in for a dive here onto Paucus. Duo King tanking the turret as long as he possibly can, dropping it for just the last tower shot. Wixie will fall there as well, but picking up a double kill in the early laning phase, absolutely huge for the Ginger Turmeric bot lane.
Yeah, that's the big trading up feeling right there. Like, yes, you died at the tower, but it's just a fast back. Wave state's neutral down there. Going to get the Berserker Greaves as well as a longsword. And if they're able to continue to cut the map like this, if Keel is able to kind of ward off Colthrow and continue to take his camps on repeat, this is really bad place for a poke lane to be left on an island, because they only have, like in terms of very weak spells early on.
Yeah.
We do see the Dorn's ring on Psycho, which is very interesting. Could be spelling out some things for later on in the game, but we'll have to see what the build path is. As Nemesis goes for this nice little all-in.
Nemesis, one more auto attack there. Unfortunately, not going to have any crits there on the autos, I don't believe. So Shrimp will just be able to W out. Be perfectly fine there in the mid lane, not even having to flash. Of course, not getting the first strike proc either does kind of feel a little bad for Shrimp, but again, he'll be perfectly fine. I just noticed there as well, it is actually this Fortunate carry and not support. Nice knockback there landed by Geiger. Not Duo Queen, that's Moose Hater on Duo Queen. One more auto attack will not be found. Geiger picking up a solo kill for the Randoms in the top lane.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscalculation there. Pretty close, but no cigar for Moose Hater up in the top lane. That will spell his death. But the proactivity, nonetheless, early on from both the top and bottom side of the map, Ginger Turmeric is great to see, because Captain Shrimp just wants to survive here. As long as you're not giving kills over to the Tryndamere and you're able to stay relevant in the lane, you are one of the big tools in the mid to late game on this Corki to give a lot of objective control and be able to poke out a lot of damage early before your relatively short range comp runs out.
Oh no.
As Keel is just going to go in again.
Oh no. TP coming in now from Geiger, but Psycho is already dead. TP being fully channeled now. Duo King will still fall. Unfortunately, the Renata W running out just before the tower shot connects, so it will not get the res. Even if he did get the res, I don't think they get a kill in time for it to actually get a kill back, but still, again, Wixie 3-1 on the Kalista. Just keeps scaling, keeps getting even more kills, having so far double the CS of Psycho, and probably around that in XP there as well in the bot lane. He's going to be hitting 6 off of a couple of waves from now.
Yeah, and Keel continues to just live on the bot side. This is the sort of camp you want. Even pulling, the TP out of Geiger along the way. So that's a favorable piece for Moose Hater up on the top side as well, able to crash a wave, forcing Colthrow to kind of stand up there and hold on to it. And this just continues to feel like, it's only like a 700 gold difference, but for a bot lane that needs, 2 items apiece to really feel online, those Enchanted Crystal Arrows being on a very low cooldown at that point, and Misfortune getting a lot more value out of the Make It Rains and even the bullet times, them just getting continually set behind. You can see 19 to 49 CS.
Yeah.
That's a feels bad moment if you're a Randoms fan.
Randoms fan here, yes. Also, Pockets is actually going for the Mandate build. I mean, if he's playing Ashe support, I don't know what other build you would really go for here. Oh no, Psycho. Oh no, he's just... Every time there's a wave underneath this tower, Keel is here there as well. Pockets with the exhaust, looking to turn it back around onto Keel here, and Wixie not really having enough HP to step up. Pockets even actually will be able to get I would consider a solo kill onto Keel underneath his own tower. I would consider that a solo kill.
I don't know how I feel about that statement. I'm gonna leave that one where it's at. But the tower did do a lot of work in that exchange, as we can see. Wixie pretty low on health, so no way to actually follow up, even though it is just a support Ashe. Still does damage, still does auto attacks. So this has been bot lane devastation from the side of Ginger Turmeric, continuing to say that, yeah, Kalista needs to be ahead of the power curve, and I think 4-1's pretty ahead of the power curve. Now just probably 1 recall away from that shield bow, which is a huge power spike early on, and with the changes to Dragons, having this emphasis on the bot side of the map means that hopefully Keel's going to just make another rotation down to the bot side. Maybe, I don't power dive the Randoms bot lane again, and then look to set up for this first trade.
Level 6 now as well for Wixie, and that is a fairly long cooldown. I believe Kalista ult is around a 2-minute cooldown before level 11, so it is definitely one of the longest ult cooldowns in the game, so you can't just use it constantly. You probably want to use it for exclusively dragon fights here before you do pop that level 11 for some extra CDR on it, but they can just continue to tower dive. At this point, almost triple the CS now for Wixie over Psycho, and this is only growing. The fact that this hasn't slowed down at all as well is also showing very good signs for Ginger Turmeric in the early game here, because sometimes when you get these crazy leads in one lane, it starts slowing down. Psycho could start getting some catch-up XP, something like that, but there's been zero slowing down. We are still tower diving Psycho. Poor Psycho doesn't have level 6 yet. Let the poor man get level 6, 5, and 1 now for Wixie. Colthrow arriving for the bot lane party here as well. This is not a party that you were invited to, Colthrow. Shrimp looking for 1 more kill back onto Colthrow there as well. Nemesis showing his face here as well. He'll be able to actually pick up the 300 gold shutdown off of Wixie. Popping the ghost, still having the ultimate there in his pocket there as well. Face checking 3 members of Ginger Turmeric. Flashing on a Duo King, gets at least 1 more kill back in his pocket again. Still holding on to his ultimate, using only both of his summoner spells there. He could just walk back to mid lane. Enchanted Crystal Arrow almost connects. Very close on that one. Nemesis again, still holding on to the ultimate. Finally popping it to be able to run to safety. 2 kills now for him, turning the bot lane matchup slowly back in their favor.
I say salvaging is the key term here.
Yes.
Nemesis is able to get some, kills and finally get the shutdown off of Wixie. But that is still a 6-2 now. Callista, that is a mythic item at the 10-minute mark. So extremely powerful here. Matching call throw. You know, the permaclear Karthus,
jungler,
matching them in tempo and economy. That's nothing to scoff at. And Keel just continues to live on the bottom side of the map. He said, like you said, divers are farming be damned. We're just going to farm champions and go for these early objectives because we have just the most star-studded power on the bottom side of the map right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Wixie and Duo King down there in the bot lane. Shrimp having the package here on Corki, just kind of holding it right now. They didn't have to fight over the dragon. They've been fighting for the previous 10 minutes. You don't even need to fight over the dragon now instead. So Shrimp basically just holding that just in case there was some sort of fight for the dragon. Coldthrow hovering the mid lane here. He does, like you say, have that completed Leandres. The Coldthrow might just be dead here. Lots of poke coming out there from the package from Shrimp. And Shrimp not really fully committing to anything, not exactly knowing where all the enemy champions are. So they'll just play it safe, get a lot of poke there on the Coldthrow, trying to slow down his clear as much as possible. But it's still a Karthus. He's still got an early Leandres. He's got boots now coming out from the runes as well. You see Keel hovering the mid lane here. First round town, drop quick. Keel flash. Cataclysm straight on the Coldthrow, instant pop, doesn't have time to pop anything outside of the Requiem in the passive. Not gonna be doing a whole lot of damage with that one here quite yet. Nemesis has the ultimate available, but dies before he can use it. That is so unlucky. I don't think Nemesis got any turret plates from that as well. He died before the Rift Herald even crashed, so Coldthrow will get all of the solo gold from the turret plates.
Oh, here's another engage.
Here's another engage. Wixie was exhausted, so it does slow him down for a little bit, but that little bit not going to be anywhere near long enough. Wixie flashing forward for Duo King to just yoink it away from him with that ignite. Very nicely done here once again by the Ginger Turmeric bot lane.
And it's just fighting all over the map. In the mid lane, it was so crucial that Shrimps played that very well, kind of cheating towards the bottom side of the map. So it was not completely apparent that Keel was going to be there and just giving him that clear line of sight to get on Coldthrow. And then in the trade out, like you said, Nemesis not able to find what he needed. It's just going to get handshake away. Renata, this Duo King's doing such a great job of not only getting good picks, but having these solid handshakes to disengage. Between that and Keel's, flag and drag combo, just stalling out Nemesis, both there on the bottom side, trying to get a kill back, as well as in the mid lane, to where, like you said, couldn't get the ult off.
Nemesis diving the bot lane here, all on his own pop. Still to buy a couple of seconds, but Wixie having the Renata W on him still will not buy enough time. Duo King base checking the bush there as well, knowing Nemesis is in it. Both fall to Nemesis, giving him now a double kill as well as the shutdown. But up here on the top side, junglers plus top laners, 2v2. Duo King just about dying. I was going to say live, but no, unfortunately does fall in the end. Geiger, lots of healing with the flash, extra shielding coming out there as well. Shrimp walking behind the turret. Big surprise there from Geiger. Had no idea he was there. Thought it was a 1v1. Was definitely not in the end. I believe that was a 3 for 2, including the bot lane kills in the favor of AOE randoms.
And the name of the game for AOE randoms is Nemesis right now. Coming in on the back end of these plays and getting now a 3 for 1, or 3 and 1, able to continue to pick up these shutdowns off of Callista. And that's going to be the question of how do you stop this man? Able to handshake away, but that nice little spin to win is on a bit shorter of a cooldown. This Duo King's going to look for pockets again.
Darn it. Let's see, man. I was almost a solo kill for Duo King. Why you gotta steal it away from him like that, man? Like, if I'm Duo King right there, I'm calling that a solo kill. Except Wixie like autoed once and stole it. That's kind of rude, honestly.
Hey, you know what? As an ADC main and you being a support main, you know where the gold belongs. It's right there on the June Gemini. Wixie needs it.
No. He's already got a mythic. Duo King wants a mythic. Duo King's like, man, you got your mythic. You got your completed boots. I want my mythic. Now he's got his mythic. Beautiful. One up here on the top lane yet again. Requiem being channeled. But unfortunately, Coldthrow is not the one to secure that kill for himself. Just there for some extra poke there with the ultimate. Geiger Not a solo kill. I'm not going to call that one a solo kill. Well, we'll take one off the solo kill board for that one. Geiger getting some help there from his own jungler.
Yeah, Geiger definitely now past the point of any kill threat on them.
Yeah.
You can see in these 1v1s, it continues to be more and more Poppy favored. And even earlier in the 2v2, just being able to use that ultimate to say, nope, you're not allowed to play the game anymore, and turn any of these team fights from even sitting to now like being a 5v2 as the game progresses. Sadly, for the side of AOE randoms, they haven't had any real pressure off of any of these kills to get any neutral objectives set up. And once again, Ginger Turmeric has the first look onto this second Drake. Geiger's going to try to, cross map and get a tower for it. It's actually committing 2 to the play.
Musa Hater up here being dove and almost just killed by Coldthrow. Not having the unstoppable ultimate available means he's kind of just a sitting duck underneath this turret. With that, he will fall 2-3-2 now. Coldthrow on the Karthus, not Callista, Karthus on the enemy team of the Callista. Keel and Nemesis finding each other in the jungle. Lots of healing between the mid jungle here for both teams. And I mean, Nemesis, he wasted the E, going to be trapped in the Cataclysm there, but for only a second, pop in the unstoppable ultimate for himself. And with that, we'll just be able to walk it away. Nothing too scary. We pop our ults and walk away from each other.
Yeah, and that feels like trading up for Ginger Turmeric. The Undying Rage not being there, one of the reasons that Nemesis has been so effective early on has been on the backside of these plays. Is now Geiger is down the bot lane and really cleaning up from these and saying, no, you're not going to kill me.
No.
And Duo King said the same thing, getting pulled out there by that ultimate. And 2 Drakes to their side. And they continue to feel like they are in control of this game. Randoms is being scrappy, but the neutral game objectives and the push for the most part has been to the side of AOE randoms that are now rotating their bot lane around and saying, we're just going to flash our wallet at the side of randoms. You can't keep up with a 2-item Callista at this point.
2 items, soon to be 2.5 items on top of that as well for the Callista. Meanwhile, these dragons have very much been stacking in the favor of Ginger Turmeric as well, 2-0 here at the 17-minute mark. Not the fastest dragon stacking in the world. Usually at the 20-minute mark, you would see 3 dragons fully taken, but it'll be a slower soul here, probably soul around the 30-minute mark, assuming that it's not a 4-stack for Ginger Turmeric. If it is the 4-stack, then that's around still the usual 25-27-minute mark for a now mountain soul. It is a very scary soul to have on a Callista who is not unkillable right now. She's just doing a whole lot of damage. If she is also unkillable and doing a lot of damage, that's going to be a hard time for a random staff to deal with. And
now the Olaf, has a little bit more favorable matchup. Doesn't really like the tanky targets, but really loves this Trindamere up here in the top lane, who does have access to the ult now, so we may see a
4 members of Ginger Turmeric up here in the top side. 2 of those being the bot lane are very scary members, but the one scariest, Wixie falling first, means it's a very hard team fight for Ginger Turmeric to continue trying to fight. He'll pop the Cataclysm very early, doesn't have enough healing to continue it even further. Triple kill now for Coldthrow, quadra kill, almost connects onto him. Quadra kill now coming out for him now as well. Nemesis trying to continue it. He's looking for the final kill, looking for the ace. Double kill for him as well. I lost track. It was like triple kill, quadra kill, and then a double kill. I don't know how the math works out on that one, but you know what? It was an ace for randoms. They killed Wixie. They did it, Ragnar.
Yeah, that was 9 kills overall, so that math does math out there. Yeah, we love to see it, but they were, for the side of randoms, really playing off of having that Undying Rage up and knowing that Nemesis could really go in alongside Coldthrow and use a ton of damage that they do have in these tight spaces. And generally the scaling goes to the side of AOE randoms, right? So they have gotten through a bit of the early game onslaught, and now we're starting to get to the point where, okay, now we're sitting on all Mythics items completed. We're working on our 2nd and 3rd items, depending on who you are. And when you see a Warmog 2nd on Geiger here, that's a very large target that they have to try to chew through. And when they find these engages, like we saw up there in that topside Tribrush, then that equals a really advantageous point for randoms to be able to fight off of. But it's these picks like this coming up that mean the world.
Flash handshake connects onto Coldthrow. No flash available for him, just spells his own death. Not even finding his passive either, just means he is simply dead. Geiger will quickly follow there as well. Moose Hater now. First kill for him on the board finally here at the 20-minute mark of this game. You leave Wixie alive, Wixie will shred your team, shred your turrets, even extra local gold collected by the bot lane inner turret there as well. On top of that, 30 seconds to their Mountain Soul Point. Everything's still managing to turn up Ginger Turmeric except for the last ace. The last ace was that's keeping randoms in the game right now.
Right, that was Ginger Turmeric playing into randoms with a really good TP setup from Geiger. But again, the picks, the rundown potential there that we saw, just the flash handshake into the Cataclysm, just means, hey, you're not allowed to play the game for about 3.5 seconds, and we only need about 3.2 to kill you. And if they continue to set up around objectives and find these picks prior to, they're going to be in a really good spot, as we will get a good old-fashioned team fight around the Drake, it looks like, with Duo Queen or Moose Hater walking down.
Moose Hater still not here for the team fight. Crystal Arrow does connect onto Wixie, but unfortunately the bullet time will not find enough damage to actually kill him. Instead, Nemesis will be the first member to fall from randoms. Moose Hater on the backline there as well. Basically one-shot Psycho. After he completes his channel of his ultimate, Coulter will be quickly to follow. 1k HP left on the Dragon, secured by Ginger Turmeric. Geiger will take down Wixie, but will probably cost in his life here as well. Trying to go back in, handshake connects, buying enough time for Duo King to be able to make it out alive. Ace turning back in their favor for Ginger Turmeric. 3-0 on the Dragons. Absolutely huge here at the 21-minute mark.
Yeah, and shout out to Moose Hater just being able to walk in and just kind of abruptly say, I'm on your backline and Geiger can't stop me right now, is a pretty good feeling. But additionally, it's the beautiful part of having two smites in the game. Having Kalista with the Ren just says, nobody's going to out-damage me on objectives. Actually kind of turning from the fight and just auto-attacking the Drake to start stacking spears and getting some of that health steal back after narrowly escaping the Make It Rain. But we just continue to see the acceleration from Ginger Turmeric with all the inner towers gone.
Why'd he do that? he yoinked the grump. That was so rude.
You know, that's the worst feel. I saw one of the games early. I think it was us on the last cast that we did when the enemy jungler just walked in and smited their gromp away and then left.
Oh yeah, they didn't actually do anything. Like look at this. They're just bullying him out of the jungle. Luckily, Coulter was actually able to secure the booba for that one, but at this point, it really is, like, I could joke about it a little bit here, right? But Ginger Turmeric, they do have full control over the jungle as long as they just kind of stand in fog of war, get some vision, get some picks here as well onto Coulter, make them face check in their own jungle, try to secure some picks on them as well. But we still got a 1v1 going down here on the bot lane between the two top laners. Geiger, more than enough time to TP out of that one. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of a long cooldown here with the Baron up as well. Makes it a very scary macro game here for randoms for the next couple of minutes. That TP will be down for the Soul as well, so Geiger 100% has to be there.
Yeah, and that does, like you said, present an interesting option where if a Geiger is ever on the wrong side of the map, then that just means they are going to give up that neutral objective. As Nemesis continues to try to find the flank, find a way around just to get directly onto Wixie. That is the win con for randoms right now, is if Nemesis can just get on top of the Kalista and send them to gray screen, a huge part of the team fight is then out the door. As the Undertow does connect, but doesn't do any much. They're just going to start up the Baron. They're going to say, come and fight us here and now.
Moose Hater really is just being the distraction that they need. Requiem coming out for some extra damage, trying to cancel it, and I think he was actually able to cancel it there with the knockback from the package. Coulter will be taken down into his passive there as well. Fully dead, Shrimp connects on the ultimate. So much extra damage from Shrimp in the backline. They didn't know he was there. They can't possibly kill him. 4 more members dead from randoms once again. They weren't looking at the bear before. Now they absolutely will.
You gotta love it. Moose Hater didn't have the best laning phase, but now in the mid game is just completely just running at Coulter and saying you're not allowed to step up and do the big AOE damage that you want to. You know, it's kind of disgusting to say the least. And then Captain Shrimps now 9-1, sitting 4 items strong on this Corki. It is a painful big one to run into, and with the Baron, I mean, you got to think they just have inner towers. They have that one tier 2 on the top side, but they can really just play towards the bottom side of the map, push into the enemy base, and then rotate out here in just a minute for their soul.
Regdor, Moose Hater, my friend, he came out of laning phase 0-5-3. He is now 6-5-3. He has not actually died a single time since laning phase. Yes, his laning phase was rough, but he's now 6 kills ahead of what he was around 10 minutes ago. 600 gold shutdown on him as well. He was 4 behind Geiger. Now he is 4 ahead. We can see the gold lead on the bottom screen there, but there's never time to look at a gold lead. There's always fighting. There's always something going on down here in the bot lane. Keel does get the revive off the Renata W, but will still fall to the final poke there from Coulter's passive. 1-for-1 between the two junglers. Both of them dead for around 40 seconds, respawning 10 seconds after the Mountain Soul here for Ginger Turmeric. They still have the Baron. They will still be able to take this bot lane inhibitor. They might just continue pushing the end as well.
Yeah, they're actually forcing Tryndamere off of that. He does get the tier 2 on the top side, but this could be the fight for the base.
Could be the fight for the base, taking about 50% of the HP off of one of the Nexus turrets. Randoms, they're only trying to prolong the game right here. They don't need to win the team fight, just keep them off of your base. Crystal Arrow does connect onto Shrimp. He has the Zhonya's to buy some extra time, but your top laner is already dead. Rec Room coming out now as well to secure some extra kills. Wixie knocked out of the team fight. You have no damage. Duo King falling a little bit more to the final flash, but Wixie is there to save his support play for, again, only a few more seconds. Nemesis eating over the Dragon Pit wall even will still not be able to kill Duo. He is still alive on the bot lane. This man simply cannot die. Wixie, he's alive there as well. Here comes the Renata ultimate over the wall. Berserk on to 2 members. Double kill again for Wixie. You can't kill the bot lane. They're still leaving. They're still breathing. Coulter is back up here as well as Keel, but the jungler simply can't deal enough damage. Shut down once again onto Wixie. You won't have him for this dragon, but it's an ace on randoms, and it's a soul for Ginger Turmeric.
Renata's still alive! How? How? At this point in time, how?
Everything!
This
Oh my
just
god!
what looked like an incredible turnaround from AOE randoms off the boss side play, but just the unrelenting pressure that Ginger Turmeric has provided thus far, and how far ahead this Kalista is at 4 items right now. It's just impossible to apparently kill Wixie at this point. Has the Bloodthirster, has the Wits in, is just living through so much, and now random's base is in shambles. 2 inhibitors down, only 1 Nexus tower remaining, and with just a little bit of time, 2.5 minutes until the Baron comes up, you know, that's where all the eyes are going to be at. And once again, Ginger Turmeric just lays down the gauntlet and says,
oh,
you know what, you're going to, well, die right here, because this is a gauntlet thrown down by Moose Hater.
That's a sad time. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Very, very sad time right there for Coulter. Yeah, it's... The top side jungle really hasn't been random's jungle for about the last 28 minutes. Like, since we started vertical jungling, I don't think they've ever been allowed to walk in the top side, and that really has never stopped. And Chancellor First Arrow does connect onto Moose Hater there. He doesn't have enough time to be able to revive through the Renata W, but Nemesis popping the unstoppable ultimate, living with just 1 HP. He'll be able to regen. He'll be able to rejoin this fight here back in a couple of seconds. Coulter respawns in 10 seconds as well, and looks like they still have 4 members strong. Moose Hater will not be able to arrive at this team fight. Geiger knocks him back, but will still fall. Inhibitor under fire. There only is 1 Nexus turret left remaining for the randoms, for Ginger Turmeric to be able to take away from the randoms. 1 more Nexus turret, 1 more team fight. Top laners will not be here for the final team fight. Renata ultimate coming up, but only landing onto 2 members. Knockup could be huge here. Buying time, getting pockets out of the team fight, really just killing him. I mean, he's just simply dead. Nexus turret will be dead now as well. 3 inhibitors, only the Nexus remains for the randoms, and that will fall finally as well. Ginger Turmeric 1-0 up in their not grand finals, sorry, upper finals bracket into their grand finals.
The Civil War rages on. Listen, somebody told me, I think it was Twitter, told me
Why
that...
would you listen to Twitter? Hold on.
Listen, it was from somebody at Riot. They said Corki got nerfed. Nobody told Captain Shrimps that because the damage that he was outputting in the mid to late game, it was like just a war on two fronts. You have Moose Hater on the TFT version of Olaf. You know, he dies a few times, he gets the stacking AD, and then he proceeds to just run you down. And then you have just this huge AOE threat from Shrimps as well as Wixie. And they just proceeded to shred the enemy team from both sides. And you said it. It's a lane that wants to get ahead, and Keel did not know the top half of the map existed for the first 15 minutes of the game.
No, I love me some vertical jungling. I love me some Renata Kalista bot lane where you come out of lane 7-2. It's like, okay, well, there were champions in the top lane. There were champions on the top side, in fact. But unfortunately, the bot lane champions reign supreme. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's why you don't give Kalista over to the red side, especially over to somebody like Wixie.
You can't counter a Kalista more than a Ashe Misfortune bot lane. Like, I mean, giving credit to randoms here, right? Like, they were clearly prepared for the Kalista. Like, I can't think of a better bot lane, personally, to run into a Kalista or not a bot lane, but you can't prepare for the dive on dive on dive on dive on dive. Like, even if you are in the counter matchup there, you are still a double marksman lane. You still are very, very prone to being dove, and Ginger Turmeric, they played absolutely perfectly to their win cons.
Yeah, absolutely. But Randoms has signs of life. We saw, the 9-man cluster fight up on the top side. We saw flashes of brilliance come back, from Nemesis as well, who performed admirably. But it is match point, so Randoms back up against the wall. We're going to have to see what they can do to try to pull us to a game 3.
Pull us to a game 3. Before that, we do have a game 2, though, so we will go to a short break as we head into draft for our game 2 of your final best of 3. everyone. Welcome back now to Game 2 Draft here on the UPL Upper Bracket Finals. Again, I'm Capcom. Over there is Ragnar. I got it down, man. I got it down every time.
I figured it out. I've got a sign on my computer that says point this way to point at Cam.
Oh, we've had it as a joke for a really long time now, is we never know which way to point, and sometimes we get trolled, and it just swaps, and now we have no idea where we're going. And the funny part is we're also both moving very soon, so our entire setups are about to change, and we are really gonna have no idea which way direction to point. So I'm going to use this as much as I possibly can while I still can. Oh, it's so doomed. Anyways, you know, randoms. AOE versus AOE. You got some randoms. You got some ginger. You got some turmeric. The ginger and the turmeric. They kind of won. They kind of won game 1. We're kind of in a best of 3 right now. You know, it's 3 because it's ginger and it's turmeric and it's randoms. That's why it's a best of 3 actually. For your information.
I learned something new today. I didn't know that was why. I'll forever, in the rest of time, be like, yeah, it's ginger, turmeric, randoms. That's why it's a best of 3.
You know, also important in a best of 3 is one of these 3 has to have their side select. So randoms chose blue side here, again, in the game 2 here. So we are sticking with the same sides. Speaking of same sides, same picks, same bands, question mark, right there? What are we thinking here?
I think that if, not what they are going to do, but what I think randoms should do is either A, ban the Callista, just get it gone, or B, choose a possibly more proactive early game jungler to be able to cover.
Okay.
Because that's not something Karthus is known for, is covering dives or covering ganks early. That's kind of like, you know, I hope my lanes win, and I'll see you in 10 minutes, and we'll see how things are going. And that just does not work with the pure aggression that was Keel, Wixie, and Duo King in that early game. And if you leave the Callista in and you don't have an answer or response to your ADC getting dived under tower 3 times, then you're going to see a replay of game 1 for sure.
Yeah, the replay of game 1 probably not what the randoms want. I think you talk about randoms. I'm gonna talk about ginger turmeric. Then I think ginger turmeric's biggest problem in game 1 was probably Nemesis on the Tryndamere mid lane. That was in the second round of picks as well, I do believe. It was second round of picks. I think it was B4 B5. So they can save that ban for the second round of bans if they want to risk it not being picked early, or again they could just pick it for themselves. I mean, Nemesis is kind of known a little bit for playing Tryndamere mid. I think he's still one of the few mids that really can still, like, pretty much pick or ban. You can guarantee he's going to play it at least once in a series. He's got his one Tryndamere game now in the series, so I'm expecting it to most likely be banned for the rest of the series here tonight.
No, absolutely, and that's the biggest thing, is that there was good volatility in the mid lane with the Tryndamere and Nemesis being able to move around the map, while Shrimp was on that scaling pick that didn't have as much rotational pressure early. So if you give a strong mid-jungle duo with Nemesis and Colthrow, that could bring a lot more to that early game that was just all Ginger Turmeric favored. And if I'm Ginger Turmeric, I'm saying, like, hey, I'm happy with how game 1 went, except for maybe the top side, but we did leave Moose Hater on the proverbial island,
not an
Usland. It was just an island with Poppy, and you don't want to be there. So that would be where I would say is like, hey, let's keep Moose Hater on something maybe not like an Olaf. Maybe it is just the scaling tank duty, take grasp, and, you know, we'll see you in 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll play together. You got to do your chores first, though. But it is the Callista ban that does come through.
Yes.
So that becomes what? Now 2 targeted bans towards the ADC, towards Wixie. So no Whirling Death, no Rends to be had. Maybe it's a Lucian angle.
Lucianami, I've been For some reason, seeing a whole lot more in the last week. I don't like it. I don't like playing against it. I usually don't like playing it either. I just generally don't like Lucian Nami, especially just electrocute Nami. It just drives me up a wall. Let's go back to Season 9, Nami, please. Can we go back to the AOE build? Can we go back to healing and shielding? Like, I don't know why we have to go one-shot Nami fish face. Like, it's just, I don't understand. But please no Lucian Nami. I will always advocate against Lucian Nami. But yes, that is a Callista and a Draven banned from Wixie. Our brand new Ginger Turmeric player already just taking 2 bans. You know those players, your teammates that are like, if you let me join your team, I'll take 3 bans every game. Wixie actually currently is doing just that. It's quite rare that that actually does come true, but the B1 of choice here for randoms will be Gragas. Very, very different to the B1 of last game that I had on my brain, just forgot it. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, you know, Karthus and Gragas have a bit in common, and that is that they technically are flex picks. Gragas can be played in 3 different positions, can be a support, can be in the jungle, or could be on the top side of the map. Would not suggest really the support one, except for in very specific use cases, but especially the top jungle flex is incredibly good. Can play the weak side of the matchup up on the top side and really scale into the game and be that long-range engage with the exploding cast. So, not a bad first pick by any means, but Rumble,
alright. So, Rumble here for Shrimp is not something, I'm assuming it's Rumble for Shrimp, because of course it's Shrimp on Rumble. So, I would very much like to see Rumble jungle, but because it's Shrimp, we're going to assume it is mid lane Rumble here. So, Rumble, I would say a pretty similar story to Corki in terms of how you play team fights and how you play objectives, right? It's kind of same lines of setup, same positioning in team fights. So, of course, you go Corki game 1. You go Rumble game 2, and that is a Zed locked in here for Nemesis, a very different story to the mid lane of last game.
I'm just making so many, like Regdor Pog faces.
You're making
right
Jay
now.
so happy right now.
Yeah, I know. The social media manager for Unified is going to do something to me. It's gonna happen. But a Zed and a Rumble in the same game, and technically both of them are jungle mid flexes. First Strike Zed has been something I've seen a few times, and it's absolutely disgusting, the time to kill at level 6 if you're able to get all of your procs off. And everybody's hovering Nyla, but not locking it in. Sag, but we do get at least half of our bot lane matchup. It's really a lot harder to dive in Ezreal with an Arcane Shift and a Flash available in their kit. So maybe saying, hey, Mr. Keel, could you not come, ruin my party down in the bot lane early on?
Hey, could you not destroy our bot lane with 7 kills in the early game? That'd be very nice of you, I don't know, though. Keel, he could be playing Olaf. It could be Moose Hater on the Olaf again. We do have to keep in mind that we have a lot of flex picks here as well. I mean, Zed jungle isn't the worst thing in the world either. I get it's probably not great at all in competitive, but at least in solo queue, it is still pretty good, I would say. So if Colthrow just wants to throw it all at the door, then maybe we just go Zed jungle with the Ignite, with the Exhaust, even I think would be pretty funny to see here in game 2, but I'm assuming it's mid lane. I'm assuming it's supposed to be a counter pick here for Rumble mid that they're also assuming, but that's a Yumi ban. Regdor, get the cat out of my game.
You're not getting the Explorer with the cat. There's no magical adventures of that. This is not, what was it, Season 10, early 11, where Ezreal Yumi was like, listen, as long as we don't die 7 times, we're probably going to win the game. Hit shot accuracy, very important on a champion like Ezreal, who is so flexible nowadays. Divine Sunders come back into the meta for him. You have the long-standing, blue build of Essence Reaver, Man Immune, insert lethality item here, Sorel does, all those fun things.
Ooh.
But Sivir's pretty OP. And Sivir plus Seraphine is super AoE. Get it? AoE? OP. I didn't mean to.
Yep, this is going to be Regdor's last cast here on UPL. Someone let him say AoE on an AoE stream, so we gotta cut this one off right here. We're gonna be getting a new caster here after a short break now. Oh, yes, it is. It is a very AoE champion. Seraphine here, locked in here for Ginger Turmeric, as that is my favorite champion ever. Stingray Slappy Friend.
Oh, we're gonna have to keep a tracker of
Slap,
how many
slap,
times
slap.
Camcom says slap during
Stingray
this
Slappy
cast.
Friend.
Oh,
There's no other
God.
name for this champion. I've completely forgotten her actual name. I've called her Stingray Slappy Friend for probably about a month now. I've never referred to her as Belbeth.
Yeah, Belveth is indeed the one. And on the theme with Void, never mind, it is going to be the Scarl. I was like, oh my gosh, give me a Cosmic, put it directly into my veins, but it's going to be Kled, so it does look like as though we're going to have Kled up on the top side with the Olaf jungle locked in. And that is quite a different look from Ginger Turmeric.
Aww.
Not the early game aggression in the bot lane. Oh wait, that's a lane Belveth.
I've lost faith in the Stingray Slappy Friend.
That's...
I thought she was going jungle. I thought Gragas would go top. I thought we were going to have a peaceful farming top lane again for 20 minutes, but no! We got Belveth. We got Olaf in the top lane. We decided we don't like junglers 1v1ing in the jungler. We like them 1v1ing for 20 minutes in the top lane instead. So let's just throw it up there, give them some ignites, give them some ghosts. Let's just, I was lied to. It's not Olaf top. Regdor is actually just actively inting me on cast right now. It's really crazy. It's not Olaf top. Will there still be a ghost up there? Probably. It's called Colette Ultimate. So they'll still be running at each other pretty fast. Just still some slaps in there as well.
Yeah, this is a atypical matchup, to say the least. Belveth mostly known for the
Olaf.
jungle because of how you're able to actually stack up your passive, and especially getting true form. It feels like AoE randoms has to play towards the top side of the map early. Belveth is a very snowball styled champion, to where if they get on a roll, it's very hard to slow them down and stop them. They might as well be unstoppable in the game, and their ability to split push is even greater. So I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, Geiger is a licensed neurosurgeon, a NASA astronaut, and holds at least 4 world records in different athletic events. Maybe they know the secret sauce to Belveth top lane, but I'm not convinced right now.
I sure hope Geiger can convince me with his neurosurgeon skills of the Stingray Slappy Friend of the top lane. But we've spent a lot of time talking about this top set here, Regdor. Let's go back to the bot lane. The bot lane that defined game 1 here, as we do head on to Summoner's Rift to start our game 2 off. Psycho Pockets on a very different lane. It's not double assassin, or not double assassin, definitely not double assassin, double marksman that we had in game 1. Instead, we are on a very long range poke Ezreal with the pike as well, instead of a or into a very long range poke Sivir Seraphine. How different of a bot lane could we have asked for compared to game 1?
Yeah, no, that is wildly different, and especially for the fact that you don't usually see this like hard engage style as a Flash is already burned by Nemesis.
Flash already burned there by Nemesis. Ghost committed by Keel there as well, notably not the Flash. Of course, I said it was going to be Ghost Olaf. It's still Ghost Olaf. It's just now he does have Smite instead of a teleport or something else. But, you know, I thought it was going to be top lane, so I'm not entirely wrong. So it is a Ghost for Flash traded between the jungle mid, so they can absolutely try and punish that before level 6. But I think once Nemesis does hit level 6, the Flash at that point will definitely be back up, but at that point as well, there's too much movement speed to really lock down AZ as well.
Yeah, definitely got to play the prediction games with the shadows and such to be able to try to get a kill on Nemesis early. Going to be interesting, as it is the counter pick Zed into the Rumble mid. Also, first strike, super important here. But Zed has the shurikens, so could be able to kind of dismantle that early gold farm, as he will get off at least a successful proc once. At least once.
Okay.
Oh, the fancy footwork of not moving at all. Duo King does watch out for the Bone Skewer. It is the coolest interaction in the world, was when you think they're going to dodge, but then they don't dodge. But you thought they were going to dodge.
Oh, that time they did try to dodge, and unfortunately, that was the dodge into it as Ignite excuse me, Ignite traded for really nothing there, but still it's Duo King sitting at about 50% HP, will hopefully be able to level W with the passive for some extra healing, but Hook connects yet again. Flash point out for both the AD and the support, but First Blood will be found by Pockets. And Wixie even trying to trade it back with a couple of auto attacks, finally able to pop level 2, but will be able to dodge the Hook once again. Psycho not going to be able to walk, step back up into the 1v2, and Duo King will be back here very shortly.
Yeah, that is the danger of Pyke. I was going to say earlier, is that you don't generally see like this hard engage fighting style go alongside the Ezreal, who's mostly known for being able to be a weak side ADC and play with few resources. But when you put a Pyke with Hail of Blades into the lane, that kind of changes it up because they're able to carry the early game and you know, nurture the young Ezreal into the game and having items by virtue of murdering their lane opponents for them. Duo King gonna have to be especially careful, as well as Wixie. Neither one has flash. All summoners burn on the bottom side of the map, but have flashes on Psycho and Pockets still.
Random still holding on to their flashes, still holding on to, as well, a lot of dashes between the two champions. They don't even need flashes, that's why they're both still up. Geiger being dove by the mid-top here from the Ginger Turmeric lineup. He's trying to dash, he's trying to slap. Will it be quite enough? Shrimp might just fall, and just like that, Geiger, one throw now in the 1v3. Does look like Moose Hater will almost fall there as well, but with the remount dismount combo there, he will just about be able to make it out alive. Oh, no! Hooked out of the recall. That's a feels bad. Don't look bot lane. That didn't happen.
I mean, that was a 3-man dive on the top side that still got traded 1-for-1. Burned the recall on Geiger though, so does go back to lane. Try to stop Moose Hater from getting a recall off. Close to getting enough courage to have Skarl back in the game.
Skarl does come back just in time for the 1v1, but it won't be a 1v1 for much longer. Geiger continues to walk out of his turret range. Keel popping the ghost once again to come and save his top laner's life. This early game, it's all been about the top lane. Again, very, very opposite to the game that we had in game 1 here, as it does look like Moose King does force to drop the Skarl once again. Knockup connects, tries to flash away, but it will not be fast enough. Geiger turn at the top lane. 1v3, 1v1, 2-1 now on the Stingray Slappy friend.
Yeah, Belveth, again, in the top lane, your screens are not incorrect. This is real. And it's happening now. 2-1 off the failed dive. Well, we'll call it successful dive because Belveth did die. Geiger did go down, but traded 1-for-1, lost your mid laner in the process, and now able to get a return kill onto Moose Hater. Sorry, my brain stopped working for a second. Reddoor.exe, needing some time. As Pockets is doing what Pockets does best on the Pyke, and that is making early rotations and using, you know, the Bone Skewer effectively to start pulling people out of position. Not known as a champion who moves very well into the late game. Somebody who becomes more of a nuisance later on, but the X marks the spot is always useful for those executes that could have done a lot for him in game 1, given as low as some of these champions have been.
Shrimp walking into Nemesis here does have the exhaust, but will absolutely not be enough. Level 5 to level 6. Nemesis picking up a solo kill now in the mid lane, just with a little bit of XP lead. It's a very small XP lead, but just those couple of seconds was able to secure himself a kill before the equalizer was even available for Shrimp pretty much there, as First Strike is now up on the map, but you see Cold Throw coming down to bot lane. E will not connect onto Wixie, but Duo King almost taken down before Cold Throw even arrives. A little bit of outcode gaming later. Cold Throw is the one able to pick up that kill on to Duo King, having a very rough lane compared to last game.
And this is what we wanted to see from randoms, and that is a much more proactive early game, given that the bot lane's very different look, actually winning out here. It's once again Moose Hater and Geiger are just going to go at it. Still has Skarl, hasn't ran away yet. Love to see that. But this is a much more scaling bot lane for the side of Ginger Turmeric that is getting abused right now by the early game threat of the Pyke alone, as well as Kolthro saying, hey, guess what? I can play on the bottom side of the map as well. Killed it at game 1. I'm going to do it game 2. And so the advantages that we saw in Ginger Turmeric, not the same as they are up 2k gold with the first Drake on the map.
Really, any Hook champion, just classically, right, has been one of the best counters to enchanters, and especially Seraphine here as well. Psycho connecting there on the slow from Duo King though, and Duo King just simply not having enough health. Cold throw, flash ult roll as well, just making sure the bot lane from Ginger Turmeric simply does not get to play League of Legends. Wixie will be able to walk out of this one kill, trying to turn it back 1-for-1 at the very least between the mid and or bot lane and support even for Ginger Turmeric. Nemesis walking down the lane, walking down river, connecting onto Shrimp here. He's eating the fruit. He's having a good time. He's trying to eat some dinner, but Nemesis, he was not invited to the dinner party. He's very angry about that. He tried to ult Shrimp and just simply got out healed by the dinner.
Yeah, not able to land a lot of those shurikens, the huge part of the damage on that. Wixie trying to get this wave in like a madman with only a little bit of health left. Able to trade out 1-for-1 overall, but we're seeing just a much better early game out of randoms that is giving them these incremental advantages. And especially in the mid lane, Nemesis is able to find kill pressure on Shrimp. And that means a lot when you have a roaming Zed who is going to do so much. Axiomark, a very good friend of his to get that death mark back up and be able to essentially just 100-0 somebody win ahead in the mid to late game. That's going to be super important because Sivir needs 2 or 3 items. It's really when she hits that Infinity Edge that she comes quote-unquote online and is able to start dealing that massive team fight damage that we're looking for out of her. But if she's continuing to be set behind in the lane like this, as we can see, just Berserker Greaves and a pickaxe, that's just like a soul. It's going to take so much longer.
First ritual will now be started up here by AoE randoms as well. Keel running in, will connect smite, steals it away from Coulter right underneath his nose, but the top winners are here just slightly too late to continue the team fight. Unfortunately, Moonsader will not be able to kill Coulter before he falls, but they were able to pick up the Rift Herald Shrimp a little bit too late to help his top side there. As long as he doesn't die, should be alright. Yeah, it does look like well, he'll be alright there in the mid lane. Meanwhile, down here in the bot lane, at least one tower plating was found by Ginger Turmeric. Again, they're very far behind down here in the bot lane. Level 5 right now for Duo King. He doesn't even have Encore available yet. Psycho gets to walk up very far. They have a hard time clearing this ward just because of the poke from Psycho.
So, really excellent smite steal from Keel. Like you said, able to pick up the neutral objective. But it also gave Geiger true form, at least for a little while, and that changes the composition of the fight for sure. Again, the Bel'Veth being in lane 4-1, looks like they're going towards that shield though. Has so much threat and side lane. It was like the atypical part of being a jungler, but wanting to solo push near an objective or solo push a lane just because of the passive with your little Void friends. The new and improved version of Malzahar's Void lanes that can absolutely turn a push much harder. And being 4-1 means that being able to contest side lane later on is going to be super painful. And if Randoms continues on this path, continues on this gold advantage, they may just be able to fight Ginger Turmeric 4v5 and win out on these objectives.
Dragon started up here by Ginger Turmeric here as well. Coulter doesn't have flash to try and flash into the pit, but does have ultimate if he wants to try an ult smite combo. Doesn't look like they want to commit anything here quite yet. It is only a first dragon and a cloud dragon on top of that as well, so absolutely not worth dying over. I would absolutely agree. 4 members were committed there by Ginger Turmeric as well, so it's not even like, oh, we're just going to solo it, oh, we're just going to bring a support up and then try and take it as fast as possible. No, they really committed for that, and they will absolutely pick that one up for themselves. Something we haven't quite talked about here quite yet, Rektor, as well, is there is an Olaf Seraphine combo for Ginger Turmeric. I think that in itself could switch up some team fights. It's the old, the Olaf runs in, he has Unstoppable, and then Seraphine gets some crazy extended ult off of her, connected from Olaf. It's that one, but we'll see if that's able to change. Geiger is 4-1 up here on the top side right now, looking for some sort of dive here on a Duo King as well. Nemesis burning the death mark on him. Will it be enough? He does get the remount here in a couple of seconds. Keel coming up here as well to try and save his top laner. Final auto will not connect. Nemesis will fall. Very unlucky, still living on 1 HP.
Yeah, able to match the play, and now we're going to ride into battle on the back of Skarl.
riding into battle underneath Geiger's tower. This is not the place you want to be. You already know you've died at least one time. And there goes Yezreal coming up from bot lane, securing the kill once again onto Moose Hater as well as Keel. Palkas arriving up here on the top side as well. Gold throw flashing away from the Encore, just about able to dodge away from that one. But Shrimp healing through the ultimate execute as well. Dual King flashing forward, getting the first kill for himself in this game too. And everybody's dying. Literally the entire top side died. The only ones to live were the supports.
It's because they were late to the play. No.
They're just better.
Up. Yeah, I know. Let's chill out, you know. I'm
a support mate. I'm a support mate for the record. We go support mates, yay!
Ginger Turmeric does strike back. Keel looking to set up a play, but instead was able to cover the roam from Nemesis and get Duo Queen or Moose Hater a good shutdown. Now has the Gore Drinker, as well as we do have Shelly down in the mid lane. And like we always talk about, Shelly loves two things: dancing and taking towers. We'll be able to at least do one of those things, hopefully here. Leave the mid lane at a little bit over one plate on the play. And that's about all they're going to get. But Ginger Turmeric starting to find their way back, has cut the gold deficit down just around the 1K mark. Roundabouts, and they're starting to come into the game. They chose a path that is much more scaling and less early game aggression outside of the Olaf there. And it's been working out for the side of randoms. They have developed somewhat of a lead, but not as big as what we saw in game 1 from Ginger Turmeric, as well as no neutral objectives to their name yet. They lost out in the Smite fight on the Herald, as well as the first Drake. So
Psycho! You thought Psycho was dead. I thought Psycho was dead, but instead, ult over the wall. Casket will spell the death for Duo King. Equalizer coming out here as well. Psycho. No E, no flash. Will just fall. Shutdown coming out now for Keel right before he falls there as well. Nemesis, he's exhausted. He can still run. He's already picked up a double kill on to both Keel and Wixie, and Shrimp kind of caught in a 1v2. He has to kill at least one member, or they might just turn back onto him. Nemesis will be able to flash away from at least that one. Does still look like on the top side. Moose Hater looking for yet another dive onto Geiger. He's had friends with him. He doesn't dive this time with any friends, and luckily he doesn't die, honestly.
Yeah, this is continuing to be a spicy game. And right now, Nemesis is one of the spiciest of them all. Just being able to continue to do the assignment. You know, Nemesis understands the assignment. Get in there, kill the carries, and get out with your life. And continuing to successfully do that, it doesn't get any easier. And there's not a whole lot of options as a AD champion, other than quote-unquote position better, to avoid the Zed. And this is where Wixie and Duo King are going to have to really play a lot further back and wait to see the play develop before committing their resources into these fights, or Nemesis is just going to 100-0 one of them here as the game progresses.
Yeah, it's gonna do a little bit of damage, you know. It's just, I mean, you can also get it outplayed by exhaust. There's only one exhaust on Ginger Turmeric, so you can't get outplayed by that many exhausts, but at least one will probably be able to stop Nemesis. I would assume that exhaust is going on in Nemesis most likely every single team fight. If not, then probably on the Geiger instead. Either one of them is a very excellent target for these exhausts. Meanwhile, the second Rift Herald was picked up by Ginger Turmeric, so in this game too, they were able to pick up both the Rift Heralds, as well as, so far, the only dragon to be claimed by either team. Dropping the Rift Herald mid, most likely to get some pressure, get the first tower in this game to transition that into the next dragon here as well. We got a full-on 5v5. We got a full-on ARAM going on the mid lane right here. Rift Herald connects first tower. Wow, finally secured here for Ginger Turmeric. Encore, unfortunately, does not connect onto anyone, though, and all of a sudden, Geiger left all alone in the mid lane. He will fall. He doesn't have a shutdown to be picked up, but Wixie finally getting on himself his first kill of this game. Cold Throw connects with the casket straight onto Moose Hater. He will just fall, and Psycho falls directly after Equalizer. A little bit wasted there, not able to do as much damage as you would have potentially liked. Still diving underneath the turret. There is so much healing, so much damage. Shutdown once again. 300 gold found by Wixie. We can still just turn to the dragon. There's a tower here to take, but there's also a dragon. 3 kills found again for Ginger Turmeric, and I'm hoping a dragon.
Ginger Turmeric the thing that I love about their style of play is that there's no question about what is going to happen. They knew that they were going to get the tier 1 down, and then they were going to all in randoms. Not all in just a champion. They were going to all in the enemy team and able to trade up in that exchange and pick up another neutral objective. Both Heralds, first Drake, second Drake, all to their name. Oh no.
Why? I'm sorry, continue.
Well, I'll continue to say that for every good piece that we have here, there is an equal downside, and that is 2 assassins in the game. Nowhere is safe. You need a pink ward and some stealth wards around, and you need to be able to see very far places out on the map before you take that recall there, as sadly Duo King found out.
Oh no, there's no more slaps. Oh no, there's only dashes. Okay, the red buff burn there, doing a little bit of extra work there for Gygar. Unfortunately, slapping was not quite enough. Luckily, Gygar actually didn't continue slapping as Keel was hovering in the area. Meanwhile, up on the top side as well, Gygar, he's there to buy time. The slaps are not here to slap the enemy champions. They are here to slap the enemy towers. But still continuing, is able to land the knock up there onto Moose Hater, but Moose Hater gets the recharge, forcing the flash out from Gygar down here in the bot lane, bringing Shrimp as well. Equalizer comes out, but underneath the turret, Gygar is able to dodge away from that one. One more dash to his death. Duo King, or not Duo King, it's Moose Hater. I was gonna say Shrimp Hater. It's also not Shrimp Hater. That'd be a sad name. We're not Shrimp Haters. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
The exploding cask had one person's name on it, and it was Seraphine.
Shrimp arriving a little bit late here in the mid lane does get a lot of burn damage onto all 3 members here of the random zone. Unfortunately, without that equalizer available, does kind of only get poked, not securing any kills quite yet until he secures that 150 shutdown onto Nemesis. That's also a 30-second death timer. Baron comes up in 60. This is where Baron starts to get a little bit spooky here for randoms. There's been a lot of picks. There's been a lot of turning and gold back in the favor of Ginger Turmeric randoms. They came out of the early game with a 2,000 gold lead. Now 2,000 gold down to Ginger Turmeric.
Yeah, they have started to come online. The quote-unquote scaling composition is cracked and jacked, is ready to rock and roll. One of the biggest things I have to say is this Kled being such a frontline threat and able to soak so much damage, as now Geiger's going to try to take some back.
Chicken fight! Chicken fight! Encore use Pocket Falls as well. That is some silver damage coming out there for you. Cold Throw, unfortunately, just about, okay, I was gonna say unfortunately will fall, but just about is actually able to make it out alive of that one. Moose Hater still continuing to fight, still has the ultimate, pulling him over the wall back into his waiting arms, but unfortunately 1 more HP. We will just about be able to make it out of that one alive. Duo King still holding on to the W passive there as well, so you got plenty of healing, you got plenty of shielding, you got plenty of damage to be continuing to take these turrets and extend your gold lead, now 4,000 in the favor of Ginger Turmeric.
Yeah, and a lot of this has to be like on Kled. One of like the biggest pains that you see against Belveths is them just using the Royal Maelstrom, you know, just going down into the ground, hunkering down with that damage reduction and health lifesteal in creating an advantage through that. But the bear trap on a rope actually stops it. The equalizer does come down.
Equalizer does come down. Shrimp, he tried his very best to survive that one. He used Flash, he used Equalizer, luckily doesn't use the exhaust there as well, but unfortunately will lose 5 stacks off of his Dark Seal for that death. I don't believe he had a shutdown. He might have had a shutdown, but it doesn't really matter. Baron is now started up here. Geiger has the evolved slappy form on the Belveth as well. Dashing over the wall with that one. 3 members are here. You do not have Moose Hater in the team fight either, but will that even matter? Encore only hits on 1 member, but that 1 member being Geiger will be able to secure at least 1 kill here for Ginger Turmeric, equaling the numbers, equaling this team fight, which means it's back in their favor. They got the gold lead, they got the damage lead. They just got to make sure that they do not get back on this Baron Nemesis. He gets to hover in the bush. Doesn't look like Keel will be able to find him. And even if he does, cannot actually run him down. And as I say that, I mean, as I say that, Duo King, he just spells it wrong, man. No, it's another double kill once again for Keel, extending this gold lead again more and more by the minute for Ginger Turmeric.
And able to get the side of randoms off of the Baron. Like you said, the Seraphine plus Olaf combination is doing wonders, as now Moose Hater is just running defense, but not a good defense. Overall, will fall to 3 members as 2K left on the Baron. Will they be able to secure it? They will! Now they just have to get out their lives, or the lives of a few of the AOE random members.
Or they could chase down randoms. You know, that's also a possibility. Geiger does not have the evolved form, dashing in, looking for some sort of reset, but unfortunately is not able to secure any kills, so will it just run in and die? I'm pretty sure Moose Hater, he was trying to run in and get the Kled Scarl back, but unfortunately didn't quite get it, so it just looked a little sad there. Still, we're fighting in the mid lane. We still have Baron. We're still trying to take down Psycho. Psycho is still not allowed to play League of Legends. He signed up to play League Series today, man. At no point today has he gotten to play League of Legends. Cold Throw next up on the dinner table. One shot with what looked like his own casket, even if it didn't look like it, but he'll still fall.
And the On the Hunt plus the Ragnarok is just a steamroll from the side of Ginger Turmeric, able to nearly get an ace there. Hawkus is hiding in the winds, and Geiger is now up to defend the base. Only 2 turrets left for the side of randoms to try to stay in the series. Match point being on Ginger Turmeric's side here, as they will get one, and just waiting on the next wave to come in here. The unstoppable force goes in here.
Moose Hater does arrive. Encore unfortunately goes wide once again, but Moose Hater 1v3ing almost in the fountain on his own. Duo King has a little bit of extra healing, has a little bit of extra shielding. Pog is hovering in the back line there as well, still holding onto the ultimate for some sort of miracle reset to hold randoms in this series. Final Nexus turret does fall. Geiger dashing back in. He'll get the double kill before falling there as well. Shrimp will go golden, buys a couple of extra seconds. Pockets doesn't have a reset on his ultimate anymore. Cannot get any more executes. They're holding their base. They're keeping their dream alive. Moose Hater, last member to live. He has extra healing. He doesn't have the wave on his side. 1v1 against the support. 3 levels up. Doesn't have the ultimate available and cannot go into the fountain. The Nexus is still alive. It is still breathing. It has the wave on it. You got about 20 seconds left on the rest of AOE randoms. Duo King not going to be able to stack Scarl off of fighting Pockets here. He's looking for some sort of game end. Pocket still doesn't have his ultimate available. Geiger now respawning. Now Duo King is going to be in trouble. You gotta fight this or you gotta run. Finally is able to stack Scarl back up, and now you got the rest of AOE randoms. They are back. They are ready to keep their Nexus alive.
Oh my goodness. That was quite the base defense from AOE randoms. Moose Hater doing his best to do something towards the end there, but not able to close out the game. And this now puts Ginger Turmeric in an odd position. You've taken everything out of mid. There is a open Nexus. His Keel will get hooked up here, but doesn't look like too much to follow, as Geiger instead may be in a bad spot.
Geiger just about able to flash out of the Encore. Gold throw won't be so lucky, though. It does look like he will fall. Nemesis following shortly after. Once again, a double kill coming out for Wixie, flashing after Pockets. Pockets will not have flash anymore to try and keep his Nexus alive. They're still taking the dragon. This is a soul point for Ginger Turmeric. I don't see a world that this goes to a soul. There's still a Nexus, and I mean, Wixie, they could end right now. I have no idea.
Just pushing into the enemy base, saying, you know what, Sivir just gonna wave clear us away, is on 3 items. They can just pressure this now. There's nothing else in the world to do other than make the game go boom.
Make the game go boom. Drop your equalizer. Make the enemy team go boom here as well. Psycho will fall. Sent back to the Nexus for 40 seconds, and just like that, sent back to the Nexus and down to the losers bracket for randoms. Ginger Turmeric will be securing their spot in the grand finals here for UPL.
Yeah, just showing why Ginger Turmeric is not only one of the top amateur teams in Proving Grounds main, taking out 100 Thieves Academy. All these things are readily available here. We saw game 1 of nothing but early game aggression, vertical juggling, dive the tower over and over again, and put Wixie 2,000 gold ahead of everybody in the game. We also saw the scaling piece. We saw that they could be kind of abused a little bit in the early game, but they held strong. They weathered the storm. And then once their composition was online, they just continued to stack neutral objectives and all be on the same page of where they wanted to be in the team fight.
Yeah, that was a honestly a really good comeback from Ginger Turmeric because they were down a solid 2,000 gold for the first 15 minutes of the game. They were down around half the kills of what Random had. Like, it was a pretty large kill lead in the favor of Randoms. It was just every single objective was going in favor of Ginger Turmeric. They got the first tower, they got both the Rift Heralds, they got both the early dragons. The only objective that Randoms was ever able to pick up was one outer turret in the top lane. Not a single other turret, not a single dragon, nothing else at all for the Randoms, despite having quite the lead in the early game.
Yeah. But you know what? I applaud Randoms for trying something different, for pulling out the Pike, pulling out the Zed,
yeah.
Even a lane Bel'Veth, all these things, because it's again important to note, this was the upper bracket finals. They do have another chance down in the lower bracket in a best of 5 to come back and maybe face AOE Randoms again in Civil War Part 72. But nonetheless, it's all about innovation and continuing to push the line. Some amazing gameplay for them, but hey, Ginger Turmeric better on the day.
Ginger Turmeric better for today. Will they be better for next week? Next Friday will be our grand finals, your best of 5 here on Unified Live. But that will be the end of your upper bracket grand final. Sure, we'll go with that for the title here today. Final best of 3 of the split. I have been Camcom. Over there has been Ragnar. Hyper has been the one clicking the buttons behind the scenes. Thank you, Leanne, for being here as well. And thank you all of you for watching, all of the players for playing. Have a fantastic rest of your Friday evening. Hope to see you back here next Friday with me and Ragnar for your UPL Grand Finals.